Did it work? Oops. Moshi moshi, everyone. I was just trying a new lucid dreaming spell, and it looks like I got you all stuck inside my dreamland. Well, since we're here, let's talk about My Little Pony, shall we? It's review time! So, Bloom and Gloom, we finally get a Luna and Apple Bloom episode. I have to say, personally, I love the Cutie Mark Crusaders. They are relatable to younger viewers, such as my little sister, or even a teenager such as myself. They struggle as most teens would do to find what they're good for and what they're supposed to do with their lives, and everyone knows in high school that's a big deal. Now, this episode, to some, may seem like it's lacking a bit in the writing department, but the way they handled this episode is genius. The plot is simple, like it was being told by a child, which the Cutie Mark Crusaders are children. I would say I enjoyed this episode, especially since I got to watch it with my little sister, who enjoyed it far more than me. I think this episode was definitely more geared to the younger audience. Now, this episode starts off with the Cutie Mark Crusaders meeting, and it turns out Babseed's got her cutie mark. A pair of scissors. Something no one really expected, but it makes sense due to, as Sweetie Belle pointed out, her messing with her mane and tail. This brought a smile to my face because I'm studying in the same field. Believe it or not, I'm in a cosmetology program. So, personally, it was pretty cool. Cosmetology for the win. Though, all this brings up the topic of who will run the Boston division of the CMC, which leads to the conflict. When they finally figure out who they are, how is it going to affect the surroundings? They kind of remind me of high school freshmen, being reminded that the future will be here sooner than they think and would have to choose what they're going to do with their lives. I'm sure at one point everyone has felt that realization that they had to choose, whether it be choosing what college to go to, what to take for classes, what kind of plans that they have to make, and backup plans. Each decision affecting their life in some way. So, what would one do when they are stressed over such things? In Apple Bloom's case, she lays it all on her big sister, Applejack, which in reply we get a sweet little lullaby to tell us the moral of the episode. Usually I would put this with bad writing or even lazy writing by blatantly saying the whole point of the episode, but here it works due to the fact that usually kids have to experience for themselves the moral even after being told over and over. Now, throughout the episode, you encounter 3 scenarios, each being one of Apple Bloom's fears. The first, not liking your cutie mark, where we get Twitter mites. Man, I wish we had that exterminator. I'm getting really tired of hashtags. Anyways, and we get the bullies Diamond, Tiara, and Silver Spoon. Some people complain that it's the same routine as always, but it makes sense since this is Apple Bloom's nightmare. Continuing on to scenario 2, her friends leaving her. Again, for someone her age, this is a real thing, and I know by experience how people can stab you in the back over difference of opinions, likes, and interest. Third scenario, Apple Bloom is rejected by her family. This is something that many people deal with, the fear of their family being not supportive. This part had to be my favorite though. Not only did Big Mac get a nice little monologue, but his voice coming out of both Granny and AJ, I think it says something about Apple Bloom. Perhaps she looks up to Big Mac more than both Granny and Applejack. After each one of the scenarios, we have some mysterious shadow pony who just turns out to be Apple Bloom's own shadow. Yay, Princess Luna here to save the day. She being the words of insight and wisdom. Yet, she still lets Apple Bloom figure out the whole thing for herself. And then she shows Apple Bloom the rift. And shows us a small preview what Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo's cutie mark might be. Then, the episode comes to a nice close, with the Cutie Mark Crusaders getting their moral and a nice little reprise of Applejack's lullaby. This episode was a nice way for us to dip our toes in the water, preparing us for when the Cutie Mark Crusaders do finally get their cutie marks. Ilovekimpossiblealot does a wonderful explanation on her channel. You should go check it out. Anyways, that's it for this review. I'm kuso-ka, and there ain't no call to worry, so don't you cry or fret. A cutie mark won't change ya, no matter what you get.
Hush now, little sister, you're loved by all you know. You'll never lose their friendship, no matter where you go. There ain't no call to worry, so don't you cry or fret. A cutie mark won't change you, no matter what you get.